ambassadors-designate present letters of credence to President Akufo-Addo.
Security apparatus puts in place measures to prevent mob injustices in the country. Good evening, my name is Evansi Champon, and a warm welcome to News Hour live here from our studios GBC24. We are also live on GTV.
And my name is Akpene Avo Ajaja. Thank you so much for joining us for the news. In the details, 6 ambassadors designated to Ghana have presented their letters of credence to the President Nana Akufo-Addo at the Flagstaff House in Accra.
President Akufo-Addo assured the ambassadors of Ghana's preparedness to work with their respective countries to deepen bilateral relations, trade and investment for their mutual benefits.
Ambassadors are the first to present letters of credence to President Akufo-Addo since he took office as the President of the Republic of Ghana on January 7, 2017. The first to present his letters of credence to the President was the United Arab Emirates Ambassador designated to Ghana, Mr. Khalifa Yusuf Mohammed. Ghana and the UAE have long-standing relations based on South-South cooperation. The UAE Ambassador to Ghana, Mr. Khalifa Yusuf Mohammed, said the United Arab Emirates see Ghana as a strategic partner in the area of trade and hopes to move the trade volume from its current level of $2.5 billion to over $3 billion per year. President Akufo-Addo said Ghana has a lot to learn from the UAE in all sectors of the economy, including trade and petroleum. The Ethiopian ambassador designated to Ghana, Mr. Regisa Feli-Ere, was the next to inform President Akufo-Addo of his appointment to the country. President Akufo-Addo recounted how Ghana and Ethiopia worked closely to push the African unity agenda forward. Mr. Peter Holesek from the Slovak Republic was the next to present his letters of credence to President Akufo-Addo. Ghana and the then Czechoslovakia relations date back to 1959. Czechoslovakia was instrumental in Ghana's industrialization in the early 1960s, and this led to the signing of an agreement on scientific and technological cooperation. President Akufo-Addo assured the Slovak ambassador, Mr. Peter Holesek, of his government readiness to build on the already existing relations for the mutual benefits of both countries. He said the issue of double taxation will be addressed to scale up trade between the two countries. Mr. Andrzej Dajcha is a Polish ambassador to Ghana. He also presented his letters of credence to President Akufo-Addo. Poland has been Ghana's partner on our front of development, especially in education. Mr. Dajcha assured President Akufo-Addo of Poland's commitment to increase trade relations with Ghana.
The sectors that will be presented in the delegation will be from agricultural sector, but also from the health sector, and IT companies will be coming. So I hope and I'm sure that it will feel the political will that is existing from the two sides, from Ghanaian and from the Polish side, with more concrete projects in the future.
President Akufo-Addo urged the Polish ambassador to support government's drive to build one factory for each district.
We began a new paradigm of economic development. We want to accelerate our industrial growth. We want to accelerate and enhance agricultural productivity in our country. So we have initiatives, and we're talking about the industrial program hinging around, we have a slogan, one factory, one district, one factory. We're looking for private investors to come and get themselves involved in that program, the bottom-up industrial development. At the same time, we're designing this new architecture for enhancing productivity in our agriculture, called Planting for Food and Jobs. This is a new economic paradigm that we're presenting for the growth of our country. We're very interested in having Polish business people, Polish investment community, taking advantage. A lot of opportunities in that.
The next ambassador to present his credentials to President Akufo-Addo is Mr. Stanislas Kamanzi from Rwanda. Mr. Kamanzi said trade between Accra and Kigali is still low and will focus on shoring up trade between the two countries. The Singaporean ambassador to Ghana, Mr. Hawazi bin Daipi, was the last among the 6 to present his letters of credence to President Akufo-Addo. Ghana and Singapore have had trade relations spanning over 50 years. According to Mr. Hawazi bin Daipi, deepening trade ties, education and ICT development will be the agenda he will be pursuing. President Akufo-Addo said Ghana has a lot to learn from Singapore, and his administration will work hard to remove barriers to scale up trade between the two nations. The Minister of Foreign Affairs says now winning Ghana off foreign aid making the country a vanguard of trade on the continent of Africa is high on the agenda of the government foreign policy.
The British High Commissioner to Ghana, Mr. John Benjamin, has ended his 3-year duty tour of Ghana. The farewell ceremony for the High Commissioner coincided with the 91st birthday of the Queen Elizabeth, and the occasion was graced by President Akufo-Addo in Accra.
One may not be far from right in describing the outgoing British High Commissioner, Mr. John Benjamin, as one of the plain-speaking diplomats who have worked in Ghana in recent times. The UK High Commissioner, who frequently wade into national politics, has been the most visible diplomat in the Ghanaian social media setting. His sense of humor had a splash on tweet. Diplomat John Benjamin might have stirred controversies and ruffled some feathers by his comments, but these are also reasons which earn him a figure of considerable attention in Ghana. His farewell ceremony at his residence in Accra was attended by people from across the political divide, chiefs, businessmen, among others. Mr. Benjamin blamed corruption on politicians, adding that greed within state institutions was extreme.
When somebody buys a luxury property here in Accra or overseas, it is perfectly legitimate to ask whether the money invested in this way was legitimately obtained. But it seems to me, after 3 years here, that everybody knows that these questionable practices are happening, but few dare to talk openly about it. So we end up in a scenario, like in that fairy tale about the emperor's clothing, where it simply becomes taboo to talk openly about what is staring us right in the face, and a kind of hypocrisy risks becoming hardwired into the national discourse.
On visa, the outgoing diplomat said about 50,000 Ghanaians were granted visas during his tenure, but expressed concern about the abuse of the system by political actors. The Minister for Justice and Attorney General, Madam Gloria Kufu, extended felicitations to Queen Elizabeth on her 91st birthday and lauded Mr. Benjamin on his duty tenure in Ghana. Madam Gloria Kufu said government is in the process of drafting a bill to establish the office of the Special Prosecutor to handle corruption issues.
The government, under the leadership of President Akufo-Addo, is making strenuous efforts to inject discipline into the country and has taken measures to deal with lawlessness and the canker of corruption by initiating the necessary legislation for the establishment of an office of Special Prosecutor.
The President and Akufo-Addo cut the cake to mark the 91st birthday of the Queen of England. The 91st birthday celebration of Queen Elizabeth and the farewell of Mr. John Benjamin could not have been complete without music performance by some Ghanaian artists, including Black Rasta and Wiyala.
Everybody knows what a goat is. It is called the goat dance.
Benjamin will be replaced by Ian Walker in August. Edward Nyakun, reporting for GBC24.
The Minister for Defense, Mr. Dominic Nitiwo, says it is in the interest of persons who were involved in the lynching of late Captain Maxwell Adam Mahama to turn themselves in or risk additional charges. Mr. Nitiwo was at the residence of the late Captain Mahama at the Burma camp to commiserate with the family.
Captain Maxwell Adam Mahama of the 5th Infantry Battalion was commissioned into the Ghana Armed Forces in September 2007. He rose through the ranks to become a captain. 3 weeks ago, he was deployed to Dentra Obuasi in the Central Region for special operations. Captain Adam Mahama, however, met his untimely death when some residents of Dentra Obuasi subjected the deceased to untold brutality and set his body ablaze. It is alleged that he was mistaken for an armed robber.
Our country, for some reason, thinks that it is normal to lynch a person on mere suspicion. I think this should be the last. cannot continue to happen. The fight against Galamsey that he went to fight and lost his life. If he died in service, the government will look at that. There are provisions that the government will look at to ensure that he's duly recognized.
The Minister for Defense, Mr. Dominic Nitiwu, said each person involved in the death of the vibrant young soldier will be punished to serve as a deterrent.
We on our part as a government, I can assure you, will not rest until the last person is brought to book. We can assure you that we'll do everything and anything to ensure that the people are hunted down and brought to book.
Uncle of the late captain, Warrant Officer Ibrahim Samed, lauded government's efforts and public interest in the case. He said they mean a lot to the grieving family.
I will use this opportunity to urge members of the public once more not to politicize this thing. It can be anybody. We are pleading the general public. This thing has nothing to do with politics. We are all Ghanaians. And if this drastic thing has happened to any of us, let's condemn it as a nation.
He called for continuous calm among the military while investigations continue. He urged the public to respect the family's privacy and desist from exploiting the situation for dubious gains. Captain Maswa Adam Mahama, who had passed his promotional exams ahead of his time, was due for promotion in September 2018. He leaves behind his father, his mother, his wife Barbara Mahama, and 2 young children.
Meanwhile, the Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Obed Akwa, has commended officers of the Ghana Armed Forces for exhibiting professionalism in dealing with the murder of Captain Mahama. He urged them to remain calm as the police investigates the issue. Lieutenant General Akwa was addressing men and military officers at Takrady in the Western region.
The meeting brought together the entire garrison in the region. They deliberated on how to ensure peace in the country and promote discipline. The Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Obed Akwa, asked the officers to exercise restraint as the police works to bring the perpetrators of the crime to book.
The best respect we can give to our fallen colleague is to ensure that his person is not associated with any further violence. The flood of public sympathy and assurances by both our sitting president and other eminent personalities should tell us the seriousness with which the whole society is taking this matter. Regrettably, however, social media, despite its many positive uses, has inflamed passions by the unbridled posting of some sensitive video and still photos. And on this occasion, I wish to appeal to you as servicemen and to the entire Ghanaian populace to resist the temptation of rebroadcasting such disturbing images.
In an open forum, some officers shared their views on the issue, while others suggested a rebrand of the Ghana Armed Forces Open Day.
If we soldiers have vowed, and we've even taken an oath, sworn that we will defend our traditional mandate, even at the very peril of our lives. And the same people that we want to protect them, the same people that because of them we are doing all the training, they don't seem to see what they are doing. And it's very unfortunate.
Reacting to some of the questions and suggestions raised, the Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Obed Akwa, had this to say.
Many people are getting away with murder. But in this particular case, I assure you it will not happen. They will pay the price.
And a delegation from Parliament led by the Speaker, Professor Mike Okoye, was at the house of the slain Army Captain Mahama to mourn with the family. They promised that the House will support the initiative to erect a monument in honor of the late Captain Maxwell Mahama.
The delegation from Parliament was led by the Speaker, Professor Mike Okwe. The spokesperson for the family of the late Captain Maxwell Adams Mahama said if confirmed by the military command, the burial of the late captain will take place on Friday, the 9th of June. Funeral rites will also be held at Bole and Tumu respectively. An uncle of the deceased, WO2 Ibrahim Samed, expressed appreciation to the government and Ghanaians for the support and compassion shown to the family. The leadership of Parliament took turns to offer words of encouragement to the wife and family of the late soldier.
I'm sure the Minister for Defense and the Military High Command would also consider matters of posthumous honors that is deserving of him. That would be the best way to eulogize him. And then also for us to support a national monument, with the state being encouraged to adopt the funeral as a state funeral, and doing same with the family to give him a befitting funeral.
We're asking the armed forces, the military command, to be tolerant, to be patient, and to hold their men in check. That doesn't mean that we should not pursue justice. If this matter should be a watershed event for us as a country, we must pursue justice to its conclusion. Mob justice, in this case, mob injustice, cannot be allowed to hold the nation to ransom.
The nation deserves to be angry, disappointed, sad, and indeed, may it never happen again. May this never happen again. So that this, our country, known for its peace, and in fact our soldiers are peacekeepers home and abroad with distinction, so that our respect will continue as a people.
They later signed the Book of Condolence.
Still on the issue, retired Army Captain Adam Mahama, father of the army officer who was murdered at Denchoboas in the central region, says it is his wish that his son will be the last victim of mob injustice in the country. He told GBC24 that his son was a peace-loving man who could not hurt a fly. He spoke to Abdul Hai Moment.
Mob actions are becoming one too many in the country these days. After the death of Captain Maxwell Mahama, who was lynched in the central region, we have heard incidents of another woman who was lynched on suspicion of being a witch. We also know about incidents where a woman was stripped naked and beaten almost to the point of death by some persons who suspected that she had stolen a mobile phone. Many of these people turned out later on to be found to be innocent of the crimes they previously would have been accused of committing. Here at the Bema camp in Accra, living faces of a mother who has lost a son, of a wife who has lost a husband, of a father who has lost a son, of siblings who have lost a brother, and of children who have been rendered fatherless. These are the faces that meet you as you make your way here to the Bema camp, the grounds where the family has been meeting since the death of Captain Mahama. The family says they are appealing to the general public to stop distributing the videos and pictures of Captain Mahama in that situation. The father, Captain Adam Mahama himself, says even though he's at pains that his son lost his life through this painful means, that he wishes justice takes his course and he does not wish to have revenge on anybody. In fact, he is saying that he wants to proceed to get an NGO together to help fight the menace of mob and instant justice which is meted out to sometimes very innocent people.
Maxwell has one brother left and two sisters. One of the sisters is writing this. The report I'm getting from Kosovo is that even whilst writing the exams, she's shedding tears. Whilst writing the exams. So that is the extent to which the sadness. That's for the welfare of the children. The children are here running about. They are so happy.
babies. I don't know what is happening. The gruesome death of my son in this manner. Pray that should be the last certain kind to happen to any mankind.
The family, the corporate world has also come together to put out an account number, to organize an account number, a fund that will take care of the children in the future as they grow up. And we'll put the number on the screen right now for you to see. And reporting from the Dema camp here in Accra, my name is Abdul Hai.
Although blessed with immense natural resources, resilient and hard-working people, the Savannah ecological area scores low in most human development indicators. Minister for Special Development Initiatives, Madam Mavis Hawakumsin, says the Savannah Accelerated Development Authority is to be repositioned to attract investors, create opportunities and generate employment and economic growth.
Across many districts and towns in the northern ecological zone of the country, scores of communities are cut off from the rest of the country during the rainy season when floods occur. And in the dry season, on the days that drivers of two vehicles decide to do the journey together on these roads, visibility becomes so poor because of the dust that clouds vision. Bags of maize, millet, sorghum, tubers of yam, and other commodities that could be sold on a market are packed in a vehicle before the passengers get on board. It is a daunting task going to the market and coming back home. If only the roads could get better, much better commercial vehicles would operate in these areas. Ideally, that 2-hour journey could take about 45 minutes or even less on a good road. Tamale is the capital city of the northern region of Ghana. The city is home to about 350,000 people, a figure which is expected to more than double by 2040. It serves as a convergence zone as well as the commercial capital of the three regions of the north. Unfortunately, however, the public transportation system in this city cannot be described as one of the best in the country. In the absence of cars, buses and trucks, motorbikes, tricycles and bicycles fill the gap. Motorbikes are the main means of transportation. They serve as everything: a mule, a vehicle for carrying goods and passengers. During the rainy season, the motorbike riders and the drivers increase the fares arbitrarily. In recent times, people in the Savannah ecological areas, particularly those in the three regions of the north, have found a good use for tricycles. However, these tricycles have caused many accidents, leading to the loss of lives. The new type, commonly referred to as yellow, have also contributed to traffic congestion in recent times. As part of its new initiatives to transform its catchment areas, SADA has signed an agreement with a company in Singapore, Sabena International, to provide a comprehensive development plan for the SADA zone, transform urban centers and collect crucial data on the region to plan development. The CEO of SADA, Mr. Charles Abugri, says Sabena International has produced urban master plans for Bupe and Tamale and built a database for the various MMDAs in the SADA zone.
It began somewhere in April 2015 with the Town and Country Planning Department, supported by the World Bank, to create a spatial development framework for the Savannah zone. That spatial development framework, which has been completed, provided some baseline data and some initial thinking as to how you organize that space for transformational development.
The Minister for Special Development Initiatives, Madam Mavis Hawakumsin, is confident that an industrial city could be developed on the back of Buipe being transformed into a port city where there will be linkages between Tema and Buipe through Kintampo, a major town in the southernmost part of the SADA zone.
We are prepared for the program and the money has been allocated. As we speak, the President has even directed that since maybe the bill may delay at Parliament, we should make some transitional arrangements for the disbursement of the
funds.
The area designated as the Northern Savannah Ecological Zone, also known as SADA, occupies 54.4% of the land area of Ghana and holds huge agricultural potentials, but remains the least developed area in the country. Abdulhai Mumin, GBC24, Accra.
It's still News Hour live on GBC24 and GTV. Let's do something on security now. The country's security apparatus is saying it is tightening its security operations and measures in the country to forestall a repeat of Monday's murder of Captain Mahama. A joint military police command disclosed this to the media in Accra.
Preliminary investigations by the police revealed that late Captain Maxwell Adam Mahama was officially assigned to the Upper Dintra district in the central region to check illegal mining or galamsey. He left his base at 8 a.m. on Monday, May 29, 2017 for a 20-kilometer walk. After covering half of the journey, he met some traders selling along the road and stopped to interact with them, after which he bought some snails. During the interaction, the women detected his sidearm tacked to his waist and telephoned the assemblyman of Dintra, Obuasi, Mr. William Barr, on what they saw. Without verifying, the assemblyman was alleged to have mobilized the town folks who attacked Captain Mahama, allegedly thinking he was an armed robber. The mob lynched him despite his plea and several attempts to explain his identity. He died at 10 a.m. before the police arrived at the scene at 10:30 a.m.
Police action taken so far include the arrest of 16 suspects, 7 out of whom have been remanded by the court to police custody, and the rest to be presented in court on Monday, 5th June 2017, together with any other suspects that may be arrested in the course of the weekend.
The police say they are prepared to collaborate with all stakeholders to rid the society of the canker of instant justice.
The police service, which I head, has already started putting measures in place to eradicate these acts of impunity. These measures include stern enforcement of the law, liaising with other relevant institutions to embark on massive public education, strengthening criminal investigations, and taking community policing to a higher level. All these are included in the major transformation agenda being pursued by the police to professionalize the service.
The military say, despite the loss, they will continue to defend the country.
It's important that wherever teams are deployed, the local community must understand that they are there to serve their larger interest. It is our position that we ensure civil military relations. An attack on any officer, be it police, immigration, prisons, military, is a breach of the law. And the law will deal with such a person.
For now, the police say they are focused on apprehending all persons connected to the murder of the captain.
We take a breather here. We'll be back shortly with some business. Do stay with us.
Hello, good evening and welcome. It's Friday and we bring you some business updates from the world of business, brought to you by NIB and Ernest Chemist. I'm Dorothy Ajimani. The fishing season mostly starts during the month of August. This is when fishermen are expectant of a bumper harvest. However, the beginning of the month of June this year is showing some signs of a good catch. Fishermen have attributed the positive signals to the early rains and 2 months closed season initiative rolled out by the Fisheries Commission to stop bigger vessels from doing business in shallow waters at sea.
It's 7 a.m. in the morning, Thursday, 1st June, at the Tama Fishing Harbour, and business was brisk. While some fishermen had a night expedition, those who were yet to set off were busily mending their nets. On the other hand, these fishmongers were patiently waiting to bargain with the fishermen to enable them start the day's business. On a normal fishing day, Fish sold here include redfish, cassava fish, soulfish, prawn fish, octopus, among others. But this time round, the most common fish on display at the Tema Fishing Harbour were anchovies, known locally as Keta schoolboys. Experts say this type of fish are generally found in large schools, which makes them very easy to catch in large quantities, and this perhaps explains why the anchovies are referred to as Keta schoolboys in Ghana. To the fishermen, the large presence of the Keta schoolboys indicates that a bumper catch is in the offing. They were upbeat that this year's business will be better than last year.
When they stop the light, the fish is coming small.
The anchovies, which are mostly oily and vary in different sizes, are in high demand, especially among Ghanaians along the coast. The most popular places to catch anchovies is the Mediterranean, West Africa, Middle East and North Africa. This is why it is such a large part of African cuisine, including Ghana. The fishermen say it is best enjoyed with akple, banku and okra soup or palm nut soup. Nutritionists say the consumption of Keta schoolboys helps in improving skin health, reducing weight and strengthening teeth. Intake of anchovies also reduces risk of osteoporosis and macular degeneration. The chief fisherman, Ni Odamte, gave further information about the health benefits of the Keta schoolboys.
This fish is having a good omega-3s in this fish. Now the doctors, the health ministries, and they are encouraging people to consume this. So if you are banning this, then what are we going to feed on? Even the secondary schools, the nursery students, the government to focus on this because it opens the brain to the students.
He appealed to the Fisheries Commission to reconsider the ban on the use of smaller nets because that is the only way to get the Keta schoolboys.
People are saying the anchovy is small, but this is their sizes. They cannot grow to like salmon or herrings. So we are begging to we are pleading to the government. This is what we are doing here.
Most of the fishermen called on the government to help in building the capacity of artisanal fishermen in latest trends in fishing, technology and management of their businesses.
On the interbank market, the cedi stabilized against the pound and the US dollar. It appreciated by Peswa against the euro. Up next is the board. The price of light crude on the commodities market dropped by $1.25 to close trading at $47.11 per barrel. That's it for the business segment, brought to you by NIB and Ernest Chemist. Coming up is the health segment. Please do stay.
Welcome back. Now we are on the health segment brought to you by Yamvita and FPAC. The head of the Oral and Maxillofacial Unit of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Dr. Matthew Boama, says routine medical checks can prevent and improve oral hygiene.
Pulpitis is an inflammation of the dental pulp tissues. The pulp is the inner part of the teeth, which contains the blood vessels, the nerves and connective tissues inside the tooth, and provides the tooth's blood and nutrients. Pulpitis is mainly caused by a bacterial infection, which itself is a secondary development of tooth decay. In our part of the world, the common toothache is called acute pulpitis, which mostly starts with a cavity. It develops as a result of the intake of sugary products and foods. At this stage, the inner part of the teeth, which is the pulp, is infected by bacteria, which produces acid that causes the tooth to decay.
As soon as you finish eating something that is sweet, we advise that you brush your teeth if you're in the house. If you're not, at least you can take water, wash your mouth and spit it out, or you can even swallow. That will reduce the sugar content in your mouth, because we found out that there are bacteria in our mouth that feed on this sugary food. As soon as you leave them on the teeth, they feed on them, and the byproduct of their activity is an acid, and that acid starts to cause erosion of the teeth.
The risk factors are not known, but with oral cancers, some associations have been found in smoking and alcohol intake. Rough teeth, thus the rubbing of the teeth against the tongue, chronic trauma, viral infections are also some of the reasons for oral cancers.
We've had people who have smoked all their life and they've not developed oral cancers. Most of the benign ones, we really don't know whether it's a food that they are eating that is causing it or not. We still don't know. So we're still researching to find out what is this that is causing those conditions.
The head of Oral and Maxillofacial Unit of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Dr. Matthew Boama, condemned the use of herbs and other substances in the teeth.
Even at the pulpitis, some people go to that extent of putting all sorts of things in their tooth. Some go to the extent of putting battery water, car battery water. They put in the gauze and they put it in it. And amazingly stop the pain. Why? Because that battery water will destroy the nerve. And as soon as the nerve is destroyed, there will be no pain, because the pain will not be transmitted. And once there's no pain, they think they are fine. But the infection will still be going on until one day they wake up and there's a big swelling on their face.
Dr. Matthew Boama said financial challenges, distance, fear, and the lack of education are some of the issues that cause delays in seeking medical care for such oral conditions.
The Ghanaian will always consider every swelling as a cuckoo head. And once it is cuckoo, it can be managed by herbal medication, and that is what is causing some of this delay.
Dr. Boama called for the brushing of the teeth in the morning and bedtime, especially when a person takes confectionaries or sweets. Routine checkups at least once or twice a month helps in the early detection of some of these oral conditions and for a cure. For GBC24, Mavis Affair-Champo reporting.
That's just about it by way of the health segment, brought to you by Yamvita and FPAC. We are back shortly.
Good evening, let's talk sports. I'm Theophilus Sampa. The University of Ghana Sports Fund has been launched. The fund will provide assistance for exceptional but less privileged student athletes. The initiative forms part of efforts to motivate, support and facilitate admitted athletes and also attract potential sportsmen and women at the university.
According to the head of sports directorate at the university, Dr. Bella Bello Bitugu, the move was to replicate what existed in other universities including Cape Coast and the University of Education Winneba. The creation of the sports fund, he said, would ensure a certain degree of resources are made available for the development, maintenance and refurbishment of sports personnel and infrastructure.
We have been doing sports the same old way decades, and I think we need to change that. And we need to face some facts and be able to change and allow things to evolve. It's a sort of revolution, and I thought, look, we can't depend on anybody in the central administration or the government to give us money or whatever it is to run our sports. We should go out, create innovative means to get sponsorship for our activities. So that is the main motivation, and that's why I think it is necessary to support our athletes, students, to give them opportunities and space, perspectives, hope, and give them learning and training to be able to propel them into the world to become global players.
Launching the fund, the Vice Chancellor of UG, Professor Ebenezer Odruwusu, urged students to take advantage of the opportunities available to become successful sportsmen and women. The event also witnessed the unveiling of ambassadors and patrons to ensure the smooth operation of the project. They include Adidas representative in Ghana, Mr. Rex Broby, the Chief Executive Officer of the Magdan Group of Companies, Dr. Daniel Macaulay, as honorary patron. President of the Ghana Football Association, Mr. Kusinya Antichi, as the football patron, with Yao Sechi, CEO of Right Sports, as basketball patron. The fund, which is the first of its kind, will begin operations in August this year.
Let's talk football now, where the deputy captain of the senior national male football team, the Black Stars, Andre Ayew, says they want to kick off the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers on a winning note. The Stars open their group qualifier in Kumasi on 11th of June against Ethiopia.
Ghana kicks off a 2019 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against Ethiopia next week. The Black Stars on Wednesday began their non-residential campaign at the Accra Sports Stadium, with the Ethiopia clash being the first major hurdle for the new technical directors of the team. A lot is expected from them. The foreign-based contingent who participated in the session included Deputy Black Stars captain Andre Ayew, Abdul Majid Waris, Efri Akwa, Daniel Amati, Frank Champon, Jordan Ayew, Rashid Sumaila, Yao Yeboah, Thomas Ajipon and Ebenezer Ofori. Vice captain of the team, Andre Ayew, says they are keen on getting a good result.
We have a goal, which is 2019, and to get that start by a very good result here. We know that the bad results we had here versus Uganda made us have a difficult World Cup campaign. That is not yet over, but we put that on the side right now and think about the African Cup of Nations. That's Ethiopia here. We want only but 3 points, and we are going to work towards that.
Andre was happy at the inclusion of the 7 locally based players.
It's not easy to be in the Ghana Black Stars, so if they have the opportunity, they should thank their God and make sure that they seize it as the best as they can.
The communications director at the Ghana Football Association, Ibrahim Sani Dara, outlined plans in place ahead of next week's clash.
Every day the team will train at 3:30 in the evening here at the Accra Stadium. And then on Monday, the team will depart to Kumasi in the morning. They'll train in Kumasi again in the evening on that same day until the match day.
13 players were absent from the session, and they are expected to join their teammates in the coming days.
Let's still stay with football, and the Ghana Premier League enters March Day 17 this weekend. Here are the parents. At Bichim United will be a home and welcome Wa All Stars, as Ugakofe Wafa will tackle Accra Hearts of Folk. At Tamale, Bolga All Stars will face Inter-Allies. At Brekum, Golden City Park, Brekum, Chelsea will lock horns with Adriana Stars. Kumasi Asante Kotoko will be a home and welcome Great Olympics. At Elmina Sharks will face Mediama SC, and at the Tema Sports Stadium, Tema Youth will face Liberty Professionals. The Boise Lenkle Stadium, Ash Gold takes on Mysterious Ebusian Dwarfs. Let's turn attention to women's football and the week continues for the March Day 5 fixtures in the various zones. Here are the pairings. In the northern zone, we begin from that side. It is Ashtown ladies who will be facing Kumasi Academy. Fabulous ladies who take on Real Upper ladies. Northern ladies then welcomes Ampem Dakwan ladies, with Prison ladies settling matters with Lepo ladies. Then we come to the southern sector where Hazakes would face Soccer Intellectuals, Lady Strikers taking on Sea Lions. Police ladies will face Holy Royals, and Samira ladies will battle Immigration ladies.
The arts segment brought to you by Kindness of Cowbell. A campaign song against the depletion of forests in the country has been launched. The music, Etiwa Till Eternity, is composed by some Ghanaian musicians to protect and preserve the tourism potential of the Etiwa forest in the eastern region. The Deputy Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Dr. Ziblim Idi, pledged his ministry's support to the campaign.
The Etiwa Forest Reserve has a unique ecosystem and landscape. It provides a number of ecosystem services and has been the source of 3 rivers, the Densu, Ayensu and Birim. The forest also provides livelihood for people. The Etiwa Till Eternity project, launched months ago in Accra, has gained support from the government. The music videos features ambassadors in the music industry, including Obuo, Miss V, Sheriff Agunu, among others. The Deputy Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Dr. Ziblim Idi, said the government is in support of the Etiwa Till Eternity project. He said they will forge ahead as people to protect the forest so many a Ghanaian can benefit from it.
Our sovereignty as a nation will be compromised if we allow this forest to go away and we have to depend on other countries for water. That is life. And so this government, and I think the parliament through the Water Resources Works and Housing Committee, has taken it up as a challenge to make sure that all our partners are brought on board to help us protect places like the Etiwa Forest, where we get a great source of our water supply from.
The Deputy Minister of Land and Natural Resources, Mrs. Barbara Tinyeji, said she believes the ambassadors of the project have chosen the right medium to send the Etiwa message across. Who is the lead ambassador of the project, Mr. Baiso Sekufo, suggested that the Etiwa forest in the eastern region be turned into a national park to help promote afforestation and preservation of the natural resources in the forest.
Now what the project is a project which is a campaign to get Etiwa National Park turned into, Etiwa Rainforest turned into a national park. Aside this, we would have a festival instituted which would happen at Etiwa, which is in Chebi, every year until it's turned into a national park. Even when it becomes a national park, we would organize the festival to attract people from all around the world to participate and also come and see the forest.
Other ambassadors shed more light on the project.
We are supporting it because we have great following. We have a strong voice when it comes to people of this nation. So we want to add our voice to this. This is very important. I think people should really look at this and try to support this cause.
Also in this segment, Nuala Riala and Black Rasta thrilled audience at the 91st birthday celebration of Queen Elizabeth at the residence of the British High Commissioner, Mr. John Benjamin.
Event was witnessed by the President, Nana Akufo-Addo, former President John Ejukun Kufuor, Nana Kunedu Ajiman Rollins, and some high-profile personalities. Black Rasta took to the stage to entertain the audience. Luella Wiala also wowed the audience with her exciting performance. The event was held to celebrate.
And that was the art segment brought to you by Kindness of Cowbell.
That's all for the weather updates. Good evening. Enjoy your week.
And that's all for the news. We'll be back at 10 with the late edition.
Good evening.